So, hey guys, I officially have my voice back. So apparently not for that comment. But yeah, it's back. It's been back for a couple days now, but finally getting around to this week's vlog. But yeah, so this week I wanted to kind of discuss with everyone communication and like the importance of it and how it affects relationships. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand, like, when they say communication, they just think, oh, let's talk back and forth. But like communication is a lot of things. It's body language and tones and or like we're always on our phones. It's texting and things like that. So kind of talk about that today or this evening. And my main thing is like communication is probably the most important thing in any form of relationship that enables the relationship to keep going and like make sure whoever or whomever is in that relationship actually has a like an understanding of where other people are at. And I'm not talking just about like love relationships, I don't remember the word for it, but also platonic relationships. And I think a great example is like roommate relationships and communication there, because if a lot of friendships break down due to lack of communication in roommate situations. So I think that's very important to acknowledge. And so that being said, a lot of people, when paths get crossed, it kind of makes things a little harder. So today I want to just kind of make people aware that communication is different for everyone, and it's always going to be that way because there's so many different personalities in the world. But there's ways that people communicate that you can, like, they give you signs and stuff. So like example, I am one of those people who, when I'm really mad, I will ignore someone, because especially like friends that I'm really close with, because if I don't ignore them, specifically my roommate, and he hates this, if I ignore him, I can still be mad. But if I don't ignore him, I actually start talking to him, I can't be mad anymore. Which sounds kind of childish that I do that, but like for me, that's my way of processing through my anger, so I don't say things that are hurtful. And so I fester, but also I have a Killian temper, which is all festering, all fire all the time. So communication is really important for me. And one of my biggest pet peeves is people not talking to me, or not like saying how they feel, or not just saying, oh, hey, like, I'm busy today, I will talk to you later. Like, just little things like that. So for me, communication is a big tool, especially in my job. So ways to avoid that, because like I said, it annoys the crap out of Brendan that I ignore him when we get in an argument, which in this situation, platonic relationships are the worst, because that's what I do. Like, I just walk away or don't talk to him. And I think for me and Bailey, it completely worked. Like, we just needed to snap at each other a little bit and then walk away and then come back later and we're fine. But for somebody who doesn't work like that, like she and I did, like Brennan and I, who he just wants to talk things out, and like he is never angry. So for someone who's always angry, it's kind of hard. So learning other people's communication patterns, or ways of their internal processes, is very important in order to maintain relationships. And I think it's important to acknowledge that the way I have my communication and the breakdown of where my faults are there is not the same as the next person. So I think it's important to realize like everyone's different, but in order to be on the same page, like 100% on the same page with somebody, you have to realize their processes and communicate with them. Hey, this is going on. Like we tell our kids all the time. I think I was talking to one of my kids in an interview the other day, and he was like, yeah, I just get pissed and I walk away. And I said, well, you know, like your parent gets nervous when you walk away and you don't say anything. Like they could think something happened to you if you've been gone for too long. And like I think a lot of, especially children, don't understand like their parents freak out when they run away. But a lot of times it's not even running away. It's just the way we process things is different than what someone else does. And I think it's important to recognize, like, especially in our kids, like, a way of communicating with them so that you can give somebody that space that they need, but also they have that security that they've been heard and that the situation will be readdressed. And at work they're called safety plans, and I think it's important that we use them because in certain situations, like when kids need to walk away and take a breath before so they don't blow up on someone or hit someone or something like that, we use those to address things. And I think in my line of work it's important because we're worried about child welfare, but like in life in general it's important to like maybe have a verbal safety plan, which is, it sounds kind of dumb, but like, or even just a communication plan between two people. But like, so what needs to happen is that just be upfront with somebody. If you are upfront with somebody and tell them the truth, be at face value, like meet someone where they're at. And I think having that connectivity with someone is so important. Being able to acknowledge that you hear someone, but you need to acknowledge your feelings also. And I think this happens in like dating relationships all the time, and I think that's where the breakdown of a lot of relationships happen. Like my last relationship was that too. We just weren't good at communicating towards the end, which is fine. Like we're still pretty good friends and things like that, but we just weren't understanding each other. We weren't on the same page and we couldn't articulate that to each other. So I think always having like those check-ins and just talking it out. Like I think a lot of arguments could be avoided if people would just talk or listen more so than anything else. I know I'm extremely guilty of talking at somebody and talking and talking and talking. And I think it's important for me as a person who talks all the time and doesn't necessarily listen very well to whomever I'm speaking to a lot of times, to recognize that and think, whoa, hey, like they're trying to say something to me. And I think it's really important for me. Like that's something I like am striving to work on right now. And but with that being said, I'm not saying discount your feelings towards something because someone else is saying something else. I'm saying in order to actually truly understand someone, you have to hear them, you have to see them, and you have to process the words they're saying. So it's not even about me talking at you or me saying, hey, I need a minute. It's truly taking in what somebody else said, absorbing that, and then action step. A lot of people like myself are pretty much action all the time, and that causes a lot of issues. And I think the main breakdown of basically all relationships is lack of communication, or just communication misunderstandings. So I think it's important to acknowledge that you're not necessarily doing anything wrong or anything different. You just are a little not there. So, but so that being said, sorry, I'm in a hotel and I'm trying not to listen to other people's conversations, but it's important to know, like, this is where I'm at, and this is where they're at, and in order for us to meet here, where do we need to go? And just be willing to like work something out with someone. Don't always jump to, I'm gonna kick your ass, because we all know where that gets us. So, but yeah, with that being said, talk to your partners, guys. Like, talk to them. Whether it's completely platonic, relationship, like anything. Oh, I have, with my mom all the time. It's like that. Just talk to somebody. And a lot of times we're quick to jump to the attitude. She knows. She knows so bad. I am so bad about, she says something and I'm attitude straight away. Listen, take in what they're saying completely 100%. Think about it, and then respond if it deserves a response. If it doesn't deserve a response, don't worry about it. That's a form of communication. Just let someone know, be like, hey dude, yeah. But that's where we're at. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'm sorry that I lost my voice this week. It was awful. I ended up with pneumonia, so that was a little fun adventure of the week. But so I'm here now celebrating my night off, and back at it tomorrow. Don't forget to be your own queen always, and stop and smell the flowers. Thanks, guys.